Pentecost Sunday, towards the restoration of broken relationships. What is peace? Shalom, in the biblical sense. It is not referring to the absence of conflict. It refers more appropriately to the fullness of life. On Pentecost Sunday, we reflect on the fullness of life in the Holy Spirit. The Acts of the Apostles narrates the descent of the Holy Spirit, appearing as tongues as of fire upon the disciples. After they are filled with the Holy Spirit, Jesus' disciples begin proclaiming the gospel. This shows that the disciples were filled with the Holy Spirit and experienced the fullness of life, now respond to the challenges of their mission to proclaim the gospel. When one experiences something good, the good experience cannot be contained and kept to oneself alone. It will be proclaimed to others. In today's gospel reading, Jesus gives his peace to his disciples twice before breathing on them the Holy Spirit. In John's Gospel, the disciples appear to have received the Holy Spirit even prior to the Pentecost event. However, both Acts and the Gospel, albeit in different ways, tell of the reception of the Holy Spirit by Jesus' disciples. Both also narrate that after they were filled with the Holy Spirit, the disciples began going out in mission. In John, Jesus sends them in the same way that the Father has sent him. In Acts, they began proclaiming the gospel in different tongues. The gospel ends with a message about the forgiveness of sins. This implies that the mission of Jesus' disciples is now oriented towards the restoration of broken relationships. Jesus, in the giving of peace, restores every relation that is broken by sin. Before sending his disciples to forgive sins, he himself forgave them first. As Christians, we go out in mission. Whenever we do our mission, let us never forget that the basic orientation is towards the restoration of broken relationships. And while working for the restoration of our broken human relationships, we must bear in mind that there is another broken relationship that we must work on, the relationship we have with the rest of creation. The Holy Spirit will renew the face of the earth. But let us ask God for the grace that our perspectives and practices concerning the environment be changed first. Please like and subscribe.